You rolling? This is rolling. Jeez, my guy's looking good.
What's up, bro? How's things?
My G.
All good?
How are you, brother?
All good. Good to see you, man.
Nice one. This is yours,
Thank
actually.
you.
That's the correct one. All right, guys. Welcome back. I say welcome back, but this is the very first episode. It's your host, Tenacious Mike with a capital T, or Tenacious Mike for short. Today I have here Mr. Dasilva, Mr. Five Palm himself. Introduce yourself, brother.
I go by Dasilva. I'm co-owner of 5 Palm Entertainment and also a training solicitor.
Jeez.
This is out here in Dublin.
Just out here in Dublin doing the
Yeah,
same. This guy is running
thing.
some big events recently, you know.
Yeah,
I know you had
bro.
one literally 2 weeks ago. Oh, sorry, about a week ago. in Villa.
Last weekend, the 20th of July. Yeah.
20th of July.
Day party, yeah.
Day party, bro, was sweet.
Afrofusion.
Afrofusion.
yeah, it was
That's
sick.
the one coming up as well, isn't it? Oh,
Nah,
no.
that
The
was
one coming
past.
is the Afro Gala.
Afro Gala.
Afro Gala.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, me and Daniel have actually known each other a while.
Very long time.
A very long time, which when we kind of like, we didn't know we knew each other before. How we even met each other again is just a thing. But how old were we when we knew each other?
That was probably 7 years now. Back in
7.
Burger King.
No,
No, longer than that.
longer, bro.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
you didn't remember?
No, sorry.
You didn't remember. So basically, remember Thornfield?
You lived in Thornfield?
Bro, I knew you from Thornfield.
Thornfield Square, right?
Thornfield
That's 2005, you know.
That's what I mean, from 5.
That's 0506, damn.
That's from 5, because I
18
remember when
years
we were,
then.
so where we met, so the story is, obviously he didn't remember that now, but that's calm.
It was babies at the time,
We was
innit?
babies at the time. It was maybe, must have been 5 or 6 years old around that time. For me, anyway, I must have been maybe 5 or 6. But remember, the reason I even knew, I just remember there used to be one guy named Daniel. And then we met again in Burger King, like many years back. You know, when you're starting off, you're working and doing what you got to do to get by. But what was it? I asked you and I was like, your name is Daniel, yeah? And I was like, bro, you look a bit familiar, but obviously not that
So
familiar.
I had the same
like,
big head.
yeah, I think it was the head. I gave it away a little bit. But yeah, I seen that and I was like, bro, did you ever live in Clondalkin? And you were like, yeah, I've lived in Clondalkin. And I was like, in Thornfield? And you were like, yeah. I was like, bro, I remember you and Abdi used to be. Abs used to,
we all used to live there.
We all used to live there and
Do you remember
like,
Paddy?
Paddy, no, I don't. I remember one guy, I can't
white-
remember his name, if it was Tobias or it was something.
Gracia?
No,
you
some
don't
Silas,
know
but I
him?
can't remember him anyway.
Right, that's crazy.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. I was like, this is a small world. And yeah, I grew up, met each other again. And then met each other again. Not met each other again, but continued to meet each other again, work together through business and stuff like that. But let's hear about 5 Palm. How'd you start that?
Basically, I think we've been doing it for about a year now, I think.
Yeah.
But obviously, we initially. So I think it was. So I went to Abs because we used to throw a lot of parties, like house parties and stuff.
That's nice. That's how it starts, isn't it?
Yeah. So they were obviously sick, and obviously like the police would like come and shut it down. And then like I think there was like 100 people in the house or whatever. That was class.
So basically, just got too big for the house, and then you had to move on.
Yeah,
to bigger things.
yeah. But obviously something like I've always enjoyed like partying and just hosting parties, like birthday parties and like my graduation, things like that. And then I think I approached him and I was like, let's do this like event thing, because obviously a lot of people in Ireland, a big complaint was like, oh, Irish events aren't like, that was same people, same vibe. You don't really know what to expect. Same music.
And a lot of them get shut down.
Yeah, and obviously like constant disappointment and things like that. And I think like I was very confident. I was like, we can definitely like do something different. Like obviously, the initial idea or thought process was like, oh, it's probably too oversaturated.
Saturated, yeah.
I think we just thought about a way like, okay, how can we make this different? Like that's kind of like our driving force in this right now. It's just like, if it's not different, we're not going to do it.
It's not different.
You
know what? A book I read recently, I'm still reading. I don't know if you've ever heard of Blue Ocean Strategy.
No, I haven't.
Blue Ocean. Basically, it's a book that teaches you how, in a saturated market, how you can stand out and what to look for, rather than trying to compete with the other people in the industry as well. you have to find a way that you can stand out that's unique. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't get. And that even boils down to personality-wise.
Exactly,
you know, people who want to stand out, who want to rise, they feel like, oh, if I just be like this person, then I can rise. But you don't realize that if you actually be yourself and you be your own person and you be different, that's how you can be ahead, and that's how you can stand out and be more distinctive.
No, definitely, yeah, that's for sure.
But now I think the first event I actually went to 5 Palm was the gala.
Okay.
And January, that was January, and
that was
an event to be
at. That
at.
was class, yeah.
That was an event to be at. I enjoyed that one. Me and the boys, we went, we were all dressed up, good. Everybody was clean.
Like, even at that, like, it's not every day you just have to wait for a wedding to wear a suit, like,
wear your suit, like.
Obviously, I do that. I wear that at work and whatnot. But like, obviously, like we see events in like the UK or in Europe or US. Like, they're all like, there's no reason why we can't do that here.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
There's enough people. It's just about having, obviously, like, getting people's confidence, because obviously, like, past events maybe have like let people down or whatnot. But like, it's just about just building gradually as well. Like, you get me? And
you know, one thing I like about yourself as well is you have a very high standard of professionalism.
Yeah.
And you need a lot of professionalism in this line of work, and you need to have stuff right.
Yeah.
Like, just the gala, the vibe. You had your red carpet.
Yeah.
You had your backdrop for everyone to take pictures. You had people doing
360.
Had 360 as well.
Yeah.
You had people doing interviews.
Yeah.
You had games. You had awards. You actually put fair
Thank
play.
you so much, bro.
And then the next one as well that I'm actually excited for is the Afro Gala, is it?
Yeah, we're having Afro Gala, but before that, we're having a fashion show as well. End of August.
Okay, I didn't know about that. When are you having that?
Yeah, so that's going to be on the 31st of August. So the idea behind that is we want to kind of showcase all of like Irish brands.
Okay.
So it's going to be called Renaissance. So the vision behind it is like the end of the dark ages into the light.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you'll see anyways, but obviously, like, there is a lot of brands, but we want to kind of like put them all on one platform to make like one-off pieces that like they would normally not do. Like, you know, obviously, like, it's kind of like hard
so it's more for the creative aspect. It's not going to be a case where it's stuff that they already have.
No.
Okay, so they have to come with new clothes,
one of one
pieces
just for the show.
No.
So the show went from like 6 to 9, and then we'll like have a party afterwards.
Yeah.
But that's the same.
Guys,
going on
you hear that? You better get on your A game, man.
Yeah.
It's coming from scratch. But yeah, in your line of work, what do you think is one of the most challenging parts?
Which line of work?
Which line of work? You see, that's a man that's in multiple income streams. That you need. But let's go with you studied law.
Yeah.
You studied law, and you're currently practicing law, right?
Yeah, I'm training, so I'm working in aviation law.
Aviation law?
Yeah, and then doing my bar exams and stuff, so just want to go.
And how's that going for you?
Yeah, it's fine. It's tough, obviously. Like, the exams are very hard, but you just have to like be resilient and stuff.
And why did you choose law?
Funny enough, TY 2014, I didn't know anything about law. I was just literally, I got on the Lewis, I got off around Smithfield, and just worked my way up into town. I actually ended up around here. None of these lot go back to me though.
Oh, really? All the giants.
Yeah, they didn't get back to me, but we're here now. I think the first one was 4 courts, so I just walked into the office and asked them, did they do work experience? The times that were being offered weren't available, but my school at the time,
they were
flexible,
around it,
so that's my first experience in law. So I worked in all like the CCJs, so it's a criminal culture justice, the High Court and all that, and the 4 courts.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just like, okay, I'm sticking to this, and
I'm just going to see
it
all the way
through. So
through.
it's been 10 years now since.
You see a lot of these things, man.
I'm not qualified yet.
It's long, but you know what? Yeah, when you actually get there, it's rewarding.
Yeah,
it's rewarding, and who knows? 5 Palm could take off.
Yeah.
But you'll still keep it just for that achievement factor as well.
Like, actually, law's the main thing. I'd never like quit it for 5 Palms. But you never say never.
You never know.
Time.
I always say that to people. You never know where you're going to be a year from now.
For sure.
Because there's plans that I've had for, okay, next year I want to be doing this. And then that idea gets swayed like 180. Like,
for sure.
180, but you just have to keep stepping. And let's talk about 5 Palm.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most difficult part in that?
Obviously, I have my 9 to 5, and then I feel like 5 Palms is like my 5 to 12.
5 to 12. And then you get a little bit of sleep in between.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, me and Abdul, we do work a lot together, and we work well because that's my best friend. So it's like the trust is there, and where I can't pick something up, he'll do that. So obviously, there's a lot of things that are done in the background that people don't realize. You know, like coming up with the concepts. You know, we do a lot of spreadsheets. Like, so we're doing accounting work, we're doing marketing, we're doing all this kind of stuff as well. So that's another thing, because obviously, like, we're trying to build a community. So it's like getting people's trust and making sure that we're delivering as well. Like obviously on the days, all of you are enjoying the party. Exactly. I'm having a completely different experience.
You don't. Do you know, even if you've ever seen anyone having a birthday party, the celebrant is not the one that enjoys the party.
I have a completely different experience.
Especially when all the planning and everything is.
But obviously, like, our thing is, the main thing is, once the people are happy, we're happy. Do you get me?
Of course.
Regardless of what I need to go through.
What you need to go through. You suffer that one day. And every day leading up to it.
Yeah.
But the satisfaction you get is after the event.
Exactly.
And hearing everybody's feedback. And hearing everybody enjoyed it. That's the best joy you can get. Like.
And one thing as well, I try to, like, always ask people, like, how do you find it? You know, it's one thing asking someone who enjoyed it, but, like, I want to also know the person who didn't enjoy it. Why didn't you?
Feedback.
Yeah, exactly. What could I make better to make sure that, like, okay, next time the person who had the least fun.
Let me know
it's about the small minimal gains as well, not just about, like, because if someone's drinking, obviously you're always gonna have a good time, but like,
it's about those 1% gains.
Just about marginal gains and stuff like that. So
and I say that a lot of people that know me know, even when I started this this media or these socials, before I released my first videos, I asked people around me who were close to me, I was like, tell me, what about this video did you not like? And I made it clear, like, look, I don't want to hear, oh, this is a cool video, this is nice. I want to hear the part that you found maybe boring.
Where could you improve on that?
Exactly, or the part maybe you're like, okay, I can't get through this. And I got feedback. People told me, okay, my voiceover is a bit too slow. I was like, okay, let me add a bit of energy to it to energize it and so on. And not to say that it's perfect, but at least I know, okay, it's pointing me in the right direction well. I'm just going to constantly keep adding on. Those 1% gains, like you were mentioning, you keep adding on, they have a compounding effect. How much would you say discipline helps in business?
You're gonna need discipline, or else you're just gonna sway left and right. You know,
left and right,
you kind of like need to, like, understand, okay, what is my long-term vision? Obviously, you're not gonna get there overnight, but like, you need to, like, have this, like, step-by-step way, like, and obviously don't be afraid to ask for help from other people, like, you know. Like we work together, and obviously we had different conversations and whatever. Obviously, like, budgets are a big thing, you know, planning and make sure, like, your schedule matches with my schedule, so like things can be done on time and stuff like that, you know. Communication and just having a vision. So
we have discipline, and another one is consistency as well. Consistency is a big one. Like, do you see the amount of people that are suddenly blowing up in Ireland? What's your man's name? Jordan, the one that did Kalani. He's been consistent. A lot of people probably don't know, but he's been around for
a while,
a long time.
Funny enough, I didn't know who he was till recently, but he was at the boat party last year.
Oh, he was at the boat party last year?
I didn't even know he was there.
Isn't that crazy? You probably was just looking through the videos and you're like, wait, that's Jordan. That's Jordan.
You know, like, you know, even the likes of, like, Victor Alfred, they've been doing their thing for a minute.
Victor,
like, you know,
Victor is doing very well.
And a lot of people, like, people think it's just overnight success. No,
absolutely
they've been grafting and just, you know, putting in the work. No one's
that's
watching. Like, it's all about that one person that's watching, you know, and just keeping going and keeping focusing on, like, what it is that you want to do.
That's what I'm trying to do now. There's actually one quote that I always say stuck to me. So I have this thing where I say, people ask me, would I ever get a tattoo? And I always say, I'm not against it from whatever religious standpoint or what people like to look at it at. It's just that I can't think of what I'd be willing to have on myself for the rest of my life. But one quote that sticks with me is, what if you never stopped? And what if you never stops means, you know, like, let's say you're going to the gym, right? And then you stop, and then you start again, and you stop. And before you know it, 2-3 years have gone by and you've made no progress. And then you look back at someone else who has been continuing on for 3 years, and you're like, damn, what if I never stopped going? Where would I be today?
For sure.
Where would you be today? And that's all it is with consistency, making sure everything compounds, keeping at it, because one day, and all it takes is one day, your life can change like that.
I'm guilty of the gym consistency, to be fair.
Bro, the way my boys be slagging me, I actually need that, yeah. My boys be calling me fat, they be calling me this.
You need it though.
You need it.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
You
need those people around you.
Sometimes just to like propel you.
You need people around you who are going to push you as well.
Yeah.
People who are going to inspire you. Who would you actually say in Ireland are those who maybe you look towards and you see a bit of inspiration there? Maybe not inspiration, but like you can see someone doing their thing and then like it doesn't have to be your same line of work, but you'll see that this person is doing their thing in their own regard and you're like, damn, I gotta go harder.
I wouldn't say like I look at someone and say like I need to go harder. It's more like, okay, like this person's doing their thing, like I obviously like it kind of like inspires me as well, like to keep going as well. Like obviously like the main person I'm always around, Abs.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously he's been on a journey where, for example, he used to have a clothing brand.
Yeah.
He stopped doing that, and then he's doing his engineering stuff, traveling the world and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to travel the world.
Bro, I'd love to travel the world.
Well, obviously what I do, I can't really do that, just kind of like the people I have around me. Like I kind of like to surround myself with people that like-minded and just trying to like advance themselves as well.
Yeah.
I don't like to pay too much attention. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some people like get too fixated. Oh, I'm not at a certain point in my life. Like I don't feel like there's a rush. It's like life goes at your own pace. There is no such thing as you need to do this now or then. It's like whenever you're ready. Because there's a lot of factors that you have to take into consideration, like your mental, your physical, like the opportunities, who you meet as well. Like sometimes, like I got a job in where I work now in aviation. It's me and one other black person there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have got that should I have not had another job, which got me into this job. Because sometimes that's when you know that quote where timing meets preparation.
Oh. Opportunity favors the prepared mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, opportunity meets opportunity and preparation. When come hand in hand, boom, you're gone. So it's like just be content in whatever stage in life you're at, and then at the right time that God says it'll be. Do you get me? Like there's no like race.
There's no race. Yeah, and I have to constantly remind myself that as well. Because sometimes you're seeing people, and especially you'll see people younger than you as well. Yeah. And then you can be very inclined to be like, well, what am I doing? Da, da, da. But I feel like the only reason you would beat yourself up is if you know you're not doing anything yourself. Yeah. If you know you're not putting in the work you're supposed to. Yeah. Then that's where you can feel upset. Some people are bitter. They can say like, oh, I'm working, but why am I not receiving the same result? But you don't realize sequencing is a thing. We're not the same as much as we like to realize. Life isn't fair. Life doesn't award us the same chances. But your consistency is meant to pick that up. Yeah. And when it's your time will come as long as you're putting in the work. On the topic of inspirations, actually, I won't say I require the inspiration of others to drive me, but I do like being around other people who are really pushing themselves as well. Yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So there's certain places I'll go to. One of the big ones is, Yemi, Copulus Media. Yeah. I like Yemi because I like what Yemi is doing and I like what he has going on. He's sick. He has his own business. If you know where Yemi started, you'll know. He's been out for such a long time, but like it's one of them ones. He just does everything in the background, but there's a lot that is going on around. We don't even realize like he's been involved in or started. Yemi, every time I go to him to get something printed, guy's flat out. Yeah. But he'll still take care of you. Yeah. He'll still take care of you. Even
have a conversation with you, give you his time.
Oh, no, Yemi, I know how busy this guy is, and I'll go to a shop on some random evening. I even come in at 5:30 after closing when he's ready to go home. And then he'll just talk to me, he'll give me knowledge, he'll, push me up, he'll support, and he'll be bigging up my thing as well. Even though when I'm looking at his operation and I'm like, bro, you're doing good. And he'll still have the time and humility to come and give you advice, let you know that you're actually doing very well and hype you up and support you as well.
How do you do you find it difficult or easy to discipline yourself in what you do?
I'm not gonna lie, I do find difficulty in it. And there is one thing that I heard recently that has helped me more with it, is you fall to your systems that you have in place. So if you have systems that are gonna prevent you from being lazy, it helps you now. Like I have an accountability partner now, for example,
that's sick.
Where because we generally both work in business, there's no incentive for you to maybe wake up 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock every morning. If it was up to you, you can wake up 10, you can wake up anytime you feel like. But what we have currently set up is 8 a.m. every single day. We have to be out of the house.
Okay.
Out of the house. Not, oh, you have to be up, you have to be out of your gaff. We're FaceTiming each other at 8 a.m. and he's going to watch this and he's going to be laughing.
Yeah.
But 8 a.m., if you're not out of the gaff, you get a strike. Yeah? And whoever who has the most strikes at the end of the month, the loser has to pay that other person money. Now, I'm not going to say how much money it is, but when anyone knows when money is involved in something,
that'll wake you up for sure.
It's a motivator. And ever since we started that, I can definitely say that has helped me like crazy. I'm up out of the house majority of the days now, 8 a.m. Obviously, weekends, when I'm working, I tend to work late into the weekends, just the nature of my job. Like having someone to keep you accountable is good in the start, but I wouldn't depend on it like long run. Because you're not always going to have someone around you to push you onto whatever.
It'll turn into habit as well at the same time as well.
That's
you get me? So then you don't really need you kind of like
to have someone
become second nature as well.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's what I'm finding as well. I don't need to wait for him. I naturally now wake up at 7, half 7.
Yeah.
Get up, go to the cafe. That's why I do it every morning anyway. I just go to the cafe, work there for 5 hours, 6 hours, or however hours I need, and get stuff done there. In business, just because there's certain people that I know that I speak to all the time that they're trying to get their business running, they're trying to start something as well. What are traits do you think you need to have as an entrepreneur?
I suppose kind of like, firstly, it's kind of like what it is you want to do and what will set you apart.
Yeah.
So that'll take a bit of creativity. And then once you have your idea, then it's like, okay, you kind of like need to have the confidence and able to like speak to people who've done it before. Yeah. Not to say, like, as you said before, like you're going to just get a blueprint, but like also you can get kind of like, guidance and advice, you get me? Because before I started doing events, for example, or doing law, I've spoken to solicitors, I've spoken to barristers, seen what their experience was. Like, like if they've made a mistake, they'll tell you straight up, this is what I did. You can avoid that, you get me? Yeah. Or like before I do the events, I would attend events. I've spoken, I networked, and just literally reached out to people who run events. Some of them weren't willing to help, some of them were, but don't let that discourage you. You're always going to you can get 10 no's. It's the one yes that matters.
Yeah. There's a game that not me and my mates play, but there's a game that we used to play back in the days, and it's let's see how many no's you can get. You make it a competition, you're like, let's see who can get the most no's. Whether that is reaching out to people. So in the early stages of a business, you're going to get a lot of no's.
Yeah.
When I started my business, I was getting a lot of no's or a lot of no responses. The same in your case when you're reaching out to all the guys on this road, no responses. But you can't let that discourage you, because eventually you're looking for that one person who has your yes. And one thing I also think that is a trait that you require, well, you don't require, but it's great to have, is initiative.
Yeah, for sure.
In business. And initiative is like the ability to you don't need someone to give you instructions to be able to move on. You can kind of have it in your head that, okay, something is not right here. Let me go and fix it.
Yeah.
And it's only once you start growing that you realize common sense is not so common.
No.
It's not that common at all. And I was talking to someone about this yesterday. I can't remember who. But yeah, I was talking to someone about it. We're talking about how a lot of people require you to give them kind of like instructions before they can move on with things. The more you work out that muscle, that creative muscle, that initiative muscle, the better you can be. And any other tips do you think we
have to be resilient, to be honest.
Resilience.
Like, because not every day is going to be perfect, you know. So like just echoing on what I said before, it's kind of like just having your long-term plan in mind at all times. So like you're always gonna get yourself out of bed at 8 a.m.
Oh, absolutely.
Or send those emails that you may not get responses to, or whatever, And
another thing is, when things are actually going good as well,
don't get complacent.
That's when you should be extra careful.
Literally.
Because you can start letting those emails slide. I know it from experience.
Yeah.
Because when things are going well, you're kind of like, you now start to relax. You're like, oh, I'm doing well. And then you start letting those emails go, you start letting those messages go, replied, and then that's how you actually start losing clients or losing customers or losing ground in your field as well.
same thing, consistency, and just kind of like keeping that level of professionalism. You know, and it's customer service, like that whole thing about like the customer's always right. Remember when we worked back, it's same principles. When we worked back in Burger King, if the guy says my chips are cold, you don't ask questions, just give him the new fries, good to go.
Yeah, I actually want to touch on that professionalism aspect, because I feel, not that it's a big issue for people, but I feel like once you've mastered that aspect of professionalism in your field, it sets you so far apart.
Yeah.
Sets you so far apart. And everyone who's around me, I'm going to name a few people. Mags, Chef Mags. Let's see. Alex, my neighbor, actually. Everyone who comes to me for advice or something, I always make sure you are doing stuff at a high standard. Not high like standard that was unattainable, but I mean like you're doing things professionally and properly.
Yeah.
Because in business, especially if you want to grow, if you don't have that professionalism, there's many brands, there's many companies, there's many people that won't work with you at all, just because you don't have things done properly. So make sure you do things properly in your required field as well. I think that's it, really. I don't want this, so I should have introduced this show actually. This is not meant to be something very formal. It's not meant to be a 3-hour podcast, 2-hour podcast. We're just going to be having a general conversation about life, skills, lessons, life experiences. And yeah, do you have anything coming up that you want to?
Yes, obviously you can find us at 5 Pound Entertainment. I'm Dasilva.
It's Dasilva. Tenacious Mike.
Tenacious Mike, man of many talents.
We try.
If you come to our events, we're 5 Pound Entertainment, not 5 Pound Events. So when we say entertainment, we actually mean it. So obviously, first party was kind of like club/concert.
Yeah.
Then we did the bowl party. We had an event in Paris, the gala. Then obviously we have a couple of day parties now. Fashion show, and then the Afro gala obviously is next. Well. I don't know if I can say it for 2025 yet, but there's something.
There's something
abroad. There's something abroad.
Oh, abroad. Okay, that's a little bit of
I need to put out a Google Forms to that, but it's something big. You're gonna have to like cover up. That's all I'll say.
You're gonna have to cover up.
But yeah, thank you so much again.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining. I really appreciate you joining us, and I guess we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, bro. Are we done?
We're done.
Oh, sweet.
This chair can't.
Oh no.